Hello and welcome to the Feiyue XRC video. Thanks for tuning in. So today I'm going to be doing some work on the flatbed for the fy06 here. But just before we get into that, last night I was just playing around with it a bit, testing the power system, and I fried the ESC real good. Let's just take a quick look at that right now. On the top of the heatsink, you can see some good fry marks there. And when I show you the circuit board, you can see where the damage happened. And it was hot enough that even on the underside, one of the caps popped right off. So yeah, really fried those two chips right there pretty good. So I can no longer use the stock speed controller. Not a big deal. I was eventually going to replace it anyways. Just wasn't quite going to do it so soon. Well, anyways, enough of that. Let's get that out of the way. Let's have a look at the truck now. So my last video where I asked for some ideas, I really very much appreciate all the ideas I got. It really helped me let my brain work around ideas and just figure out how I'm going to do it. It really helps me just think when I get ideas, even if I don't use them. It definitely helped me form up other ideas and all that kind of stuff. So I find that very helpful. As you can see, I've got a whole bunch of different templates I've made here. I really wasn't sure how I was going to do this flatbed at first. I went through a few ideas. One of them was having an open bed with just a big cutout in it so I could still access the battery there. Also while having a piece up in here, like so. I didn't really like this idea. Didn't really fit so well for me, so I was like, oh whatever, I'm not gonna do that. I thought maybe I should just have a bed that was screwed down, and I could just move the battery up front, use a smaller battery. But I still kind of wanted to be able to put my big ass battery in this battery tray, so that idea doesn't work either. And on the last idea, I think, well, I could put a flatbed, and I could have it so it folds up, and that would still give me access to the battery tray. So that's what I decided to do. I've got some footage of me making the parts. Let's just go to them right now. There was one other thing I wanted to mention before I get to the building part. The other night I also decided to switch out the very rear end here and go with the one with the wider points. Now when I first did that and put it back together, I noticed that when these were going back, these were going forwards. So the diff was reversed. So I had to take this diff apart, cut a little plastic tab inside, flip the diff around, and now it's the correct direction, as you can see. So just wanted to put that out there, that if you're gonna do this with another diff, you might need to flip the diff around. So now that that's out of the way, let's get back to making the panels. Alright, so you can see here I have my main panel for the flatbed. Unfortunately, it does have this little bend in it where it sits either way, as you can hear. So that's a little annoying that it flexes and like that, but nothing I can really do about that right now. Maybe we'll fix it in the future. We'll find out. So I also put together a hinge. I didn't really film most of this, but as you can see here, I've got an old piano hinge I cut down, and it's mounted to an aluminum bar. And then I have this other aluminum bar that will sit on top of it, and this is mainly just to give a bunch of strength to the hinge. So there is one more piece that I was working on, which I forgot to film part of, or basically all of it, and that is the rear part of the cab, which I have right here. As you can see, it's going to get attached via this piece here. I still need to sand this down and get rid of all the paint. I'm also thinking I'm going to cut a window in it too. So let's just put some stuff together and see how it starts to look. Alright, so the flatbed is pretty easy to get installed. You see these bits right here, right there, and there. Those two pieces fit right into each hole on the hinge. And then we got a flatbed. There's a little bit of a bigger gap in here than I had wanted. I might change out these pieces and make some new ones in the future to have them sit just a little bit lower. But it's not that big of a deal. Let's see how it looks when we put this piece of the cab on too. It's going to have to take the body off for this to make it a little easier. It's probably just easier to get rid of this too. Alright, let's get the cab back on. I have also added a few other mounts for the body. I will show them to you in a second when I get this screw in. If I get this screw in. There we go. So the other body posts I added are down here underneath, two on each side. As you can see, the body doesn't quite sit properly normally, or square normally I should say. So these little body posts do quite help keep everything together. And they make the body much more solid overall, so that's good. Alright, so as you can see, the body does get quite a bit more stiff with those extra body mounts. And I think the back part of the cab looks pretty good. Like I said, I still have to clean off all the Sharpie markers on the inside. And I'm probably going to cut a window at some point. as you can see here, I tried to match the ridges and they didn't quite match properly, unfortunately. I may in the future try making another piece for there, but for now it's fine. Alright, let's get the back part of the deck on. There we go. Got the flatbed. It folds up. Pull that pin out, and I still have good access to the battery tray, as you can see here. So I quite like how this truck is coming together so far. It's definitely not done yet. I'm not sure right now everything else I'm going to do, but for now I'm quite pleased with how this is coming together. I had originally planned, when I first thought about having the flatbed, of having a winch installed on the back in the middle here. Don't think I can really do that now with the hinge there, but maybe I'll come up with something else later. So I hope you enjoyed this update on my fy06. If you have any comments, leave them below. I'll make sure to read them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.